And in my practice, let's say, on an average month in 2019, I got 11 potentials.
Yeah.
Now I get 50 to 60 calls a month. A month. It's shocking.
But let me listen. I want to go back, okay? Because you,
Okay.
like I said, you have like one of the most unbelievable presence on social media. And I want to talk about how it started because I think you were one of the early adopters, right? When did you first start making videos? Was it
think
before or
at the
after
end-
COVID?
It was just before COVID.
And how did it start? Like, what did you do, like, on social media wise to kind of get started? Well, first off,
Okay.
what are your handles on social media?
Oh, okay. On
Yeah.
TikTok and Instagram, divorce lawyer Denise.
Okay.
And I have a podcast with Leah
Yeah.
Mayerson, and it's called Love, X's, and O's. And we've been doing it for a couple of weeks, and I'm thinking of changing the name of it.
So your son owns a social media company? Is that what it is?
My son owns Wildfire Video Group.
Okay.
That's what he owns. But in 2019, what happened is that they wouldn't adopt social media. And for 5 years, he was telling me, Mom, you have to get into social media. You have to. And I never heard of TikTok and Instagram. And then I said, okay, let's do it, because I got an opportunity to spend 4 hours a month talking to my son.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
So that's why I did it. And then he spent all his energy figuring things out, and we changed everything, and he got to know all of social media and its algorithms and this and that and hooks and like the whole thing. And he grew my my videos, my followers on social media. I'm kind of not terribly knowledgeable. I do family law, okay? And technical stuff is not my thing in social media. So his company is Wildfire Video Group. And
you saw tremendous growth. I mean, listen, you have what?
It's shocking.
You have hundreds of thousands of followers on both Instagram and
just under
TikTok.
900,000 people. Can you imagine? Followers, okay? It's just, I never thought of social media as a thing. I never thought about social media, and in my practice, let's say, on an average month in 2019, I got 11 potentials.
Yeah.
Now I get 50 to 60 calls a month. A month. It's shocking. It's just shocking.
You know what's funny also is that there are so many lawyers out there that and you are you've had a very long career, you know what I mean? I think you were planning on at some point
46 years.
And so you're like a senior lawyer, right? As far as you are on the top level, you've been around, you've been running a business. There's so many lawyers out there that just won't embrace social media at all. Like they just don't get it. Like me and you, we both see that this is the new era. This is where people get their information from. And you were an early adopter because you had your son that was kind of there talking to you about it, right?
Yeah, pushing me.
You. What's funny is the reason I know about you is because years ago, it had to be 2 or 3 years ago, I was growing my own social media presence, and I also, as part of that, I swipe.
You've also done a fabulous job.
I appreciate it. I didn't have the wildfire behind me, okay, which could potentially take everything off to the next level. But I was just creating content kind of on my own. I kind of wanted to do my own thing and have my own style. But either way, I was swiping one day, and I saw. Now I can't remember whether it was an organic video of you just doing one of your videos. I don't think it was. It was your son was using some of your content as a marketing tool for Wildfire. And whenever I see those videos, I never click on them. I never click on the link. I never call them. But there was something special about your video that I was like, I want to see what this is about, and I actually filled out the form, and that takes a lot for me because I can't stand a lot of the advertisement and boosting stuff.
Yeah.
And me and Adam ended up having a phone call. We've talked a few times. We've had lunch together. I mean, he's a fantastic guy, got a great business, and
a great brain.
And a great brain,
And created this whole thing and does all the research. I don't know, Eric. I don't know how how you would go about setting yourself up.
Yeah.
Okay. And figuring out the algorithms and figuring out this. They change all the time. This time it's this. Then you have to do 21 videos of this, or you have to click on. It's changes all the time. It's just amazing. And so it took an enormous amount of research on your part to get in there. And courage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never what's cool about Wildfire and Adam, your son, is that he does he spends that time to kind of figure out how the algorithm is working. And I've hired people to help out with that and talked to people about it. And it is very complicated. It's like a moving target sometimes. But what I loved about his, what he did with you, is that he created a lot of quality content and a lot of stuff that was it wasn't let's post one video a day. Let's post 3 videos a day. Let's just have information, free information out there for people to consume. And at the end of the day, you start getting 50 phone calls a month, Well,
I didn't start getting 50
I know. It
phone
takes
calls.
over time.
I started getting nothing.
Yeah.
It took at least a year and a half. If you're going to invest in social media, you have to invest in it over a period of time. People say, "Oh, I'll do it for 3 months and see what happens."
Yeah, no, you can't do it. Yeah.
You have to do it over a period of time. So what was your experience?
My experience has been, I have a very different experience when it comes to social media. I don't get, rarely, although I did get a call just the other day from someone that was in an accident, but they were in a different state and I helped them find somebody. But rarely do my content is not necessarily for people who are going to get into an accident or they're just been in an accident, like an organic phone call. Oh, I was in an accident. I know, Rosen Indraw, I know Attorney Eric from Instagram. My content is really directed towards other lawyers and my friends, family, people who know me, and other followers to kind of stay more top of mind. And,
right.
And what that does is it generates more, that does generate a big number of referrals and usually higher quality cases from that group of people. That's been my experience. And I think it's because there are different types of law that are amenable to social media, like family law, for instance. I think the stuff that you do,
family
marriage,
law,
marriage,
yeah.
Immigration, family law especially. You start talking about divorce, you talk about relationships. It affects everybody. Criminal law is very interesting too, but I think criminal law will get some good stuff.
And wills and estates.
Yeah, I agree, 1,000%, because it's wills and estates is, again, it's that asset protection. Let's protect the future. Let's protect money. So I think those areas, wills and trusts, family law, criminal defense, and immigration, not as much IP, not as much intellectual property, but those 4 things.
Intellectual property is fascinating.
It is super fascinating, but not everyone's creating an invention.
Right.
Everyone's getting either married or has a relationship. Everyone needs to protect assets. People may get pulled over for DUI or there's some type of thing that they just want to know how to handle a police interaction. And then I forget the last one, but
I want you to know that I think that there's, I talked to Adam, there's a niche for personal injury, but people I don't think have thought about it because, did you read about the illegal immigrant who got a license in California and did an illegal U-turn and killed those people? That is something that I, as just a layperson, I'm totally fascinated with. All these things that happen,
And absolutely. What I've just noticed, and again, and there may be there probably are some personal injury lawyers that they're somehow creating content where they're getting potentially a lot of calls, and it may be a lot of out-of-state stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's hard because not everyone's getting in accidents all the time.
But we hear about accidents
you hear about
all
it. Sure.
the time.
You hear about it.
Yeah.
But it's not that you need an attorney now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not you need it like what most like the way I see it is the people who get into an accident and they need a lawyer, they're gonna either ask their friend, they're gonna ask their family law attorney, they're gonna ask, or they're gonna go to Google and they're gonna Google and they're say personal injury lawyer near me. That's what I think they're doing, as opposed to something like family law, which is like all these people who are thinking about, oh man, like my spouse did this or my, whatever.
Every married
person. So they start to follow you, and
Yeah.
then as that happens, whatever it's building, it's like she's been my go-to. It's time to talk to her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think.
Oh,
What do you think?
I think that every person who's married, I've been married 44 years.
Yeah.
Okay. And every person thinks about divorce at one point. It's like you can have like an 85% fabulous marriage, but that 15% you want to strangle your spouse,
It's so funny. That's when they start following Denise.
But I have a lot of younger followers, like pre-marriage, who think about these things and they send their parents,
Yeah.
But the whole purpose of this, I didn't think it was going to work. Okay,
Yeah.
I just didn't think it was going to work. And so the whole purpose was to educate people. It's like little sound bites of stuff, but to let them know that, oh, prenups. Yeah, oh, I don't want a prenup. I'm going to get married. I love you. I believe in you. Every single state, every single person who ever got married and doesn't have a prenup is dumb because the state gave them a prenup. They have prenups. Every state says this is how you get divorced and this is what happens. All that happens is you're changing what you're thinking, what you think is fair and just, as opposed to this. And then they find out when they're getting divorced what the law was.
Yeah.
It's like backwards thinking. So the whole purpose of the website was education. It still is. It still is.
Yeah, the social media. But
Yeah.
you clearly does social media work?
I didn't think so. I never heard of it, and I am a proponent. And I'm also like addicted, I have all my people who I watch. I have like a ton of people who I watch.
Who do you like watching? What are you watching? I don't even want to know. What's on your For You page? What are you watching? Anything good?
Fashion stylists.
Yeah.
Babies. I'm into grandbabies. I'm a grandma. I'm into grandbabies.
Yeah.
I'm into inspiring quotes. I'm into criminal law. I'm into social justice. I'm into like tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of stuff.
For the lawyers that are watching, right, who are skeptical about social media, what was it that you saw, or when was it? What was it that when you tweaked something, you did something, you said, we started here, but we had to change things, we did this. What was it that you think all of a sudden catapulted you into, lots of followers, more people, following the page?
There's a formula. Okay, sorry, folks, but there's a formula. And yes, you can spend hours and hours. You know how you study personal injury, you study litigation, you study family law. It takes forever and ever and ever. That's what it is. And that's what Wildfire Group does. I'm really sorry. I don't want to spend your time promoting Wildfire, but
no. I love. Listen, that's what I want to talk about.
You got to know what's going on. There's there's 4 things that you have to aim for, and then you have to have a hook, and you have to have this, and you have to have that, and you have to have this, and then you have to close it with that. There's a whole formula for getting it done, and then there's a whole formula for posting it. When you post it, how you post it, what words you have in the beginning of it. Is it saleable? Because
it's all about that hook.
And so you need to know what's going on, and lawyers need to hire somebody. They don't need to hire the 16-year-old neighbor who knows, child,
Yeah.
student knows how to post stuff. It's the content that matters. It's the content and how you're pitching stuff that matters.
You know, it's so what's so cool about like a company like Wildfire, and I'm gathering it from you. Like I think you probably know a little bit more than like like I know you know it because you've been doing a lot of it. But what I love about you is I feel like it's one of those things where Wildfire kind of just puts it in your lap and says, follow these steps. Let's shoot the content and let us post it. Don't worry about whether it's going to work or not, but then it works.
And okay, this is what I have to say. It's your time and your money and your reputation, and they do it and they know how to do it, but you got to put yourself in there. You got to put yourself in there because nobody knows your particular niche like you do.
Yeah.
Nobody knows the clients who come in and what they cry about and what, and what's going on. Only you know it. So I think that I am successful because I know my clients. I know what people need, and so that's what I try to give them. I try to give them the information that they need in order to save them from hurting themselves.
How much, like, because I know Wildfire, they help create the content, right? They give you the topics and they give you the hooks and they create that stuff. That's kind of
they
like
give
one
you
of
the
things,
whole
yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
but it's your personality. And it's you there.
Sure, of
and
course.
you have to come through. So you have to. It's a partnership.
Yeah.
It's a partnership.
And how much? And I'm just wondering, like for like other lawyers that may go out and hire a company like Wildfire, how much of like your thought process, meaning like your knowledge, like do you feed them a little bit because you're the expert in the particular area, but
Yeah.
they're able to find the topics
Right.
and kind of drill in and say, okay, but let's talk about. I know you're the expert, but let's just talk about this, this, and this.
Okay,
Do
so-
you give them a little bit of information, or they're kind of giving it to you?
Okay, so this is what happens.
Yeah.
It's evolving. I write a whole thing. They write a whole thing, and then when we're shooting, they know what I've sent them already, and they incorporated it, or they think that we should go somewhere else, which is really in the same topic. But so I think it's so you guide them, and then they give you what you need.
Are you still doing 90 videos a month, or less?
I want you to know that 90 videos a month is too much for me. I'm older.
Yeah.
Okay. And I take breaks.
Of course.
I take breaks. I
Yeah,
take
me too.
vacations. I take breaks. I have 1,400 or 1,600 videos out there.
Yeah.
And I'm still posting 2 or 3 videos a day.
Wow. Really?
Yeah. And I use some of my, it's like, you talk about prenups. Well, I talked about prenups 3 years ago, and what I had to say is still relevant.
Sure.
So I
Some of it can be repurposed, yeah.
I intersperse them.
Yeah. That's great. And Wildfire's still running it, and they're handling it, and they're posting. And
They have to, because I have no ability to do that. I have no interest in it. I have no interest in it and no ability to do it. And I'm so thrilled. And I'm so thrilled for my son that his business has grown and that he is helping so many other lawyers. It's just amazing.
yeah, and I know, and
Okay,
I think you
it's
guys
amazing all over the country.
and you guys
All
have
over the
traveled,
country.
right? Like, have
and
you,
Canada.
you've
And
been to
Canada.
conferences and stuff together, things like that, with your son for social media?
Rarely.
Rarely.
Rarely. We thought about it, but day-to-day stuff,
Yeah. All right, and you're getting tons of phone calls, and so how often?
Yeah, I get tire kickers. So if I told you 50 to 60, I get tire kickers. I
Yeah.
have people who only want to know what the retainer is. Well, the question is, what are you doing to your house?
Yeah.
Are you just buying a new refrigerator, or are you redoing the whole house? What are the problems? I love when people used to call me up and say that, how much is it going to cost?
Yeah.
And they have an uncontested divorce. And then they come in to see me, and we're talking, and they haven't determined who's going to keep the house and child support, but alimony. They haven't discussed alimony. So is it an uncontested divorce because we figure everything out and then get an uncontested divorce?
Yeah. Yeah, and then it tends to be a lot more work. And so if it means a lot more work, then it means a much higher price.
Right. Or somebody is in their own business and they do all these write-offs, and they're in their own business and they write off the car and they write off going out here and they write off this, that, and the other thing, everything. And then what's somebody's income? It's just, it can be very involved.
Sure.
And especially if it's a cash business, oh my God,
Oh, that's going to be very complicated. Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah, but there are ways of figuring out. You have a pizza parlor. He says he's losing money. He's buying, tons of gallons and gallons and gallons and pounds of flour. Why?
Yeah.
And then people don't know that you can figure these things out.
Yeah. It's so interesting. Yeah, it is. There's a lot of accounting and a lot of almost forensic accounting that goes on in family law.
Forensic accountants are necessary, just necessary to help you, do things in a more structured fashion and in a more civil fashion.
Yeah. When you work with your son in Wildfire, to let's say you want to get 30 days worth of content, how many days worth of shooting are you going to do?
At this point, only one.
1 day.
At this point, only one.
Yeah.
And it can be 4 hours. It can turn out to be more. But what we've done is we've figured out how to. The videos are under a minute. So if they're under a minute or they're under 30 seconds, you have to figure out how to make everything into sound bites and sound bites and sound bites so that you can do it in less time and do the preparation in advance so that there's less time in front of the camera instead of figuring everything out in front of the camera.
Do you watch your own stuff, or do you are you at a point where it's just let's just shoot the content, have them cut it up, and then it's up there? Are you going back to watch your own stuff?
They send me the videos to review. So I review the videos and I change them.
Oh, you do?
I change the words, or it's you cannot tell somebody what the law is in this many seconds.
Yeah.
So you have to stick stuff in because all the exceptions. There's the law, and then there's every single exception. So you tell them what the law is, but there's all these exceptions. So I try to put in stuff so that it's more truthful.
Yeah, you got to speak in generalities too. A lot of times you got to just say generally. Do you ever look at the comments? How do you feel about the comments?
I read every single comment.
Do you really? When people are commenting,
every single comment.
Have you been? I
didn't always, but I read the comments.
So it's interesting because there's some of the comments can be brutal, and then some of them people will come to defend you. How do you feel or what do you see in your comments? Do people attack you? Are people friendly? What do you see generally? Both.
I love the comments of the followers. I love the people, and they tell me I'm wrong, or they tell me I didn't see it this way, or I didn't see it that way, or this is this, and then they tell me what happens in California. They tell me what happens in Canada. So it's educational for me as well, because I practice law in New York and I practice law in Florida, but I don't, and everybody knows California is in its own world, but everywhere else, it's different. It's different. So it could be this in one state and this in the other state. So I know the theory. I know what it is in Florida. I know what it is usually in New York, but Texas is a world in itself. Every state has different laws.
Yeah.
And the question is, what do you do? And then each state decides what it wants to do. It's like Florida. within the last year, there's no more permanent alimony. No more. If you're married more than 20 years, doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. There's no permanent alimony. It's just you get alimony for a percentage, depending. Like a brief marriage is 10 years, 1 to 10, 10 to 20 is something, and over 20 is 75% of the term that you've been married. But it's just different. And
it's all changed, yeah.
Yeah, it all changed. So it's just unbelievable.
Yeah, it is.
Just
It is very
unbelievable.
interesting you get a lot of people who are experts in the comments, you know.
Yes, and they know also because it happened to them.
Yeah.
It happened to them, or they went in front of the judge. It's very exciting.
Yeah, it is exciting. It is exciting. I've had, because here in Florida, like I've done a couple like criminal defense videos because they get a lot of traction, and I was a prosecutor at one time, so it's just
so you know.
interesting. Yeah, I know this stuff, and so it's kind of like if you ask every criminal defense lawyer, a lot of the ones that I know, they would say if you get pulled over for a DUI, don't do the field sobriety exercise and don't do the breath test. You're going to lose your license for a period of time, but there's ways that they can get it back. They can get a hardship, and it will help because the police won't have the evidence to use against you. But then you make that video, and then you get comments from people who are in Texas where it's like, well, here in Texas, we'll get a blood warrant. Like, you don't take a breath test, we're going to go to the magistrate judge while you're at the side of the road. We're going to bring you to the jail. We're going to get a warrant to take your blood, which they couldn't do here, and I don't think they still can do it in Florida. Is you can't just force someone. You can't get a warrant to get someone's blood. Only under some circumstance, if there's like a really bad accident and someone's hurt, then they can get blood. But normally, in Florida, you can refuse to take the breathalyzer. You can refuse to do the field sobriety exercises. You're going to lose your license for a period of time. It's going to be suspended. There's ways to potentially get it back, and you can continue to drive. But they can't just take your blood. They can't get a warrant for that, And it's those little nuances from state to state that are very interesting,
That are fascinating. And you asked me about the content of the videos.
Yeah.
I also like inspirational stuff.
Of course.
Because divorce is so stressful and so horrible.
Yeah.
People just need to know that they're going to survive, and then they're going to thrive, and that this will pass. It's like, I'm sure you tell your clients the same thing, that we'll get through this. There's a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. That's great that you do the inspirational stuff, because people do need to know that.
I need it, because I need it desperately as well. Because few of my male clients cry in my office. A lot of my female clients get really emotional, but men get medical issues. Just I had one client have a heart attack. He just couldn't take it. I've had clients die before. I had this crazy case, and we finally settled it. And then 3 years later, their son died, and the wife refused to have him buried. They had like a whole thing, and then he was coming to Florida. He didn't live in Florida. Mm-hmm. He was coming back to Florida. The week before his marriage, he was getting remarried to this lovely lady, mm-hmm. and he died on the way to the airport, flying down to have the hearing on his son's funeral.
Oh, jeez.
It was terrible.
Yeah. No, you deal with a lot of hard stuff, and people don't realize it, but like the lawyer does take a lot and put a lot on our shoulders, because we're trying to help these people who are in some of the most difficult times in their lives. And there's this like desire and like drive to do our very best and make a huge impact. It's a lot of stress on us too, But
it is.
People who are going through it, like you said, it can cause major stresses. It can cause someone to have a heart attack. It could cause. So it's good that they have someone they can reach out to and talk to, and You know, you need that inspiration too, right? They both do. You need it, and they
To
need
just give them perspective and tell them that they're going to get through this.
Yeah.
That they're going to get through this. It's just horrible now, but let's get it over with, you know?
So someone out there that's watching the podcast, whether it's a lawyer or it's someone who's going through something, a divorce, how do they get in touch with you if they want to talk to you, they want to consult? You know, I know you have a whole team. You work with another firm too. How do they get in touch with you?
Okay. I'm of counsel to Leah Meyerson's firm
Okay.
because I need a team.
Yeah.
I need to work with people, with lawyers, and have a whole support system because I couldn't function without it in helping people.
Yeah. Yeah. And Leah Meyerson, her office is in Fort Lauderdale? Or throughout the state? What does she have?
She has offices throughout the state.
Got it.
And the brick and mortar office is in Fort Lauderdale. And we have one in Boca, we have one in Orlando and Tampa and all over.
And just so people understand, like when you say like I'm of counsel with Leah Meyerson's law firm, of counsel, it generally just means you're kind of like you're an attorney with that office, but you a little bit independent, but they're a team that helps you with the cases.
We work together.
You work together, yeah.
We work together. We have meetings together. We work together. We email. It works very well.
And
I'm very happy about it.
And if someone wants to grow their social media the way that you've grown yours so much over the years, how do they get in touch with the Wildfire Group? Just a website?
Yeah, they have to go to the website.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out whatever that website is. We'll put it on there.
Okay.
I'll tag Adam Isaacs, your son, right?
Right.
To reach out to him if he has questions.
I'm in a peculiar position. I call my son on his cell phone.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
Yeah,
It's
no, I know.
not the same.
And I know you weren't really here to promote, his business, but since we're talking about it, he is kind of like the mastermind behind your social media success.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm very grateful to him. I'm very proud of him, and I'm very grateful because I don't know if I would be practicing if I didn't have the support systems that I have. So he's my support system. Leah's my support system. It's just, it makes my life full.
That's great.
And, I'm just very grateful for where I am right now.
That's awesome. Well, listen, I'm happy that you came down here and happy to have you on the podcast. I was really excited to meet you in person. And
I'm so happy to have met you.
I've watched your videos and stuff and the tremendous growth. And even since I was...
And I follow you as well.
Now we're following
each
other.
And I love your videos.
Awesome.
I love your videos. And I'm going to check out all your podcasts too.
Yeah, go watch them.
Yeah.
They're watching. We get little nuggets of information. So, but yeah, listen, thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome.
All right.
Thank you.